everybody, it's Catherine, and welcome to our bead making session. So we're trying a slightly different, we've moved the crafting table up a bit, we're trying a slightly different angle to see if this is going to be easier for me, because I've been working around the tripod and now the camera's more to my left. Hopefully this will be a lot easier, so we'll see how it goes. Right, okay, so what I want you to do with your strips, get a piece of A4 or US letter size copy paper, and I want you to cut, for these type of beads, cut them into strips. So you've got a narrower strip at one end and a wider strip at the back. Okay, you need something to twizzle it round, so I've got my old chopstick, and it depends how wide you want the hole to go through the middle. So I've also got a skewer, you know, the skewers for doing your kebabs, that's got a much finer middle to it, so we can use either of those things. So we're going to get these papers. You need some of your embossing powder and you need some glue. Okay, ooh, this is new, it's a new one, so hopefully this will be good. So what I tend to do is put a bead of glue. Ooh, I can tell it's new, it's coming out fast. Right down to the end. Now in some ways, okay, so I've got, and leave a bit of a gap at the top, because as we're rolling it round at first, we don't want it to stick. We don't want it to stick on our, we want it to stick as it's going round. So try and keep it, just keep pulling it back if it's going out of control and it's not going as straight as you want. There we go. Straighten that up a bit there. Roly, 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 roly. And when you get to this bit at this end, you can position that wherever you want it. So it seems to want to go there, and there we go. There's our first bead. Okay, sorry, see, still knocking you. All right, so next one, leave a bit of space at this end. So how are you all doing? Hope you're all doing well. It's got a thing on the end because it's new blob, that's it. Okay, so let's try the thinner one this time, and you'll be able to see the difference. So really just do it quite tightly in the beginning till you get it, till you get your roll started. That's it. Okay, so you can see that this, the lumen in the middle is a lot smaller. So it just really depends what you're going to be doing with it, what you're going to be threading it on, really. Okay, now I'm going over to the right a little bit here, so let's just take it back a smidgen. There we go. And just hold the end a minute for your glue to stick. So you get different shapes depending on how you roll it. That's a finer one, look. And then obviously using the big, they're much bigger for you. So that's basically the principle of these ones. Just put your glue down the middle. Oh, that nearly catapulted across, didn't it? Right, just let's roll it in tightly so you can see why you don't need glue right up to this edge, because obviously it would be sticking to this and we want to take it back out again. So there we go. We'll go rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep those doggies rolling, rawhide. No, just thought. Sorry. We've got to entertain ourselves. Okay, this is going off a bit, so let's straighten it out a bit, unless that's how you want it. And we're going along here now. Now you can see it's got a very narrow slot there, but they're looking nice. And you know, you just get different effects with different papers. You could play around with all sorts. We'll just do another one and then we will do some oh, do you know what, that's why I can't see where the hole is. I've got my glasses on. Let me take my glasses off. Okay, so do another small one. No, let's do another big one. And you can see with the chopstick, you know, you're going to have a much thicker one at one end than you get at the other. It's just really depending on what you're wanting. And it's quite square, this. You think chopsticks are round, but they're not. Some might be, but this is quite square. But that's fine, because it just gives you a different dimension to your beads. Okay, and we'll just squeeze that end a minute, just so that that is. Now I'm going to move my beads here a little bit more so you can see better. Okay, so if you remember, and this is sometimes where I quite like getting the end of the skewer to roll it. So you press on some Versamark. This is just Versamark clear water stamp pad. You can have a roll it on with a skewer or roll it on yourself and press it, press into it so you get some sticky on there. And then we will get our embossing powder. Let's put that there. There we go. Okay, so same again with this one. Carefully don't squish it too hard. And with these I tend to do a few layers, so don't worry too much if you're not getting too much of the Versamark on first time. I'd rather you do it in several layers than miss out. Well, what about miss out? Several layers rather than squishing your bead or worrying about you're not getting enough Versamark on. About now. We'll roll this one. Yeah, that's great. Okay. So I will just put that back in. Wipe my hands. You're all okay. So I'm just going to do those. The first one always takes longer because your gun isn't warm enough. Just film it a bit. Oh, it is filming, is it? Okay, these are all going to need another coat. Ouch, that was a bit hot. Okay, and then this last one. Which I'm going to have to do it the other way. That's it. Lost half of my stuff off there. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put some of this Enchanted Gold embossing powder on. So what I will do is I'll come back to you when I'm just going to get rid of this. Just the same process, just coat it and okay, so how lovely they're coming on. Now when you inspect them you can see that this end, because of the shape of the bead, hasn't got any on, so we need to get some on there. So I'm just going to just put it in the Versamark. Not too much, depends what effect you're wanting, but not too much, otherwise it goes a bit gloopy. Okay. Okay, can you see then that we're then getting it round the edging, because we don't want that to be all thin paper and everything else. Everything else really really stiff and beaded off, because this enamelling will makes them into the bead texture instead of what we've got in here. Got a bit of mixture in here, so whoop. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on again now. Just wanted you to see that round these edgings has not got enough, so you really need to get more into the nitty-gritty little cracks and crannies of that. We could just shove it in there. Okay. Okay then, so I've gone round and I've put extra, as you can see, round where all of them are now. They just need time to cool a little bit, but they now, and can you hear, they are now beaded, because they're enamelled, aren't they beautiful? They look like shells. Now some people I know, I've seen other people when they make beads like this, they then wrap wire round. I've seen them wrap wire round, or wire with beads round, or sometimes I've seen them wrap bits of material and wire round. More often than not, I just like them like this, because I want the paper, you know, it depends what you want them for, but I find that I want the markings on the paper to be the star of the show. And you know, in some respects that's got extra enamelling on, and it's brought the colours out of the paper, but you can't necessarily see all the markings like you can there. This one's not got as much enamelling on, and you can definitely see the striations of the, as you've rolled the paper. So you can see why it's just, the tip is really to get it as tight as you can, because if it's not tight, it's all in a mosh here, and it doesn't look as whole. It doesn't look like it's a whole bead. It looks as if you've made it with paper wrapped round. So whereas you need to do it as tight as you can, and then you can, you know, they've definitely got this bead or shell like appearance. And to say that these were just some piece offcuts from the, you know, the my Christmas digital paper, I think they've come out beautiful. I'm going to try a few more with the writing and that on off camera, and see how they come out. So I hope that's been useful for you. Have a go and see what you can make. The opportunities, you know, once you get the gist of the rolling and the embossing, you know, you've got so many opportunities to make different beads, different sizes, different widths of lumen through the middle, and really it's just a lot of fun. I like it. I really do like making them. So thank you for joining me, and keep yourself safe out there, and I'll see you next video. Bye for now.